Here with men's hockey coach Bill Moore. Coach, coming off of a good non-conference weekend against the WIAC last weekend with a tie against Eau Claire and a win against River Falls. Talk a little bit about the weekend and how important that was as your springboard into this weekend with the conference openers.
Well, I think the biggest one was Friday night with Eau Claire because they were very, very opportunistic, and even though we outshot them pretty badly, they had some good opportunities early in the game, and they converted, and all of a sudden, before we knew it, we were down 3-0. And the character to come back and battle, and not only did we get it back to 3-3, but I think we hit 3 posts as well that could have won the game. We had one in that they waved off because the net was off. So I was very, very proud of the character of the team and the no-quit attitude, and against the number 8 team in the country. So we were very excited about that. And then on Saturday it was a complete opposite. We dominated, or we jumped out to a 3-0 lead and a 4-1 lead. They battled back, got it to 4-2. Then it was 4-3, 5-3, and it was a really good weekend for us to come up with a victory and a tie.
If you look at last weekend, the Eau Claire game kind of was very similar to your first 2 games in that you really spread the wealth in terms of scoring out. If you look at the stat sheet, your first 8 goals of the season came from 7 different players, which was obviously good. And then Saturday, you really got some performance from Jay Heinley, Martin Gruss, and Nick Obergo, who really hadn't done anything in those first 3 games. So really, you kind of have your offense spread out and really clicking right now.
Absolutely, and again, one that you didn't mention was Kelvin Walls, and he had 2 goals, and one was just unbelievably beautiful that put the game away. But yes, we finally got some goals from the big guns, and if we can keep spreading it out, I think it makes it very difficult on other teams to key on a line and to put a checking line on one group. So hopefully we can continue to keep that production spread out. And I think we still want to increase the production by a goal or so a game, and be nice to decrease the goals against by a goal a game, and life will be really good.
Let's talk about this weekend. You kick off conference play against Bethel, and I know from a coaching standpoint, the biggest thing you want to do is make sure that they forget about what happened last year against Bethel. You guys really had a kind of a offensive feast a year ago, and how do you do that as a coach to make sure that they don't worry about what happened last year and really focus on what they've got to do this year?
Yeah, last year was an anomaly. I mean, Bethel had a really bad week. They had some very, very serious issues that they had to deal with, and they were distracted. You just have to put that away. This year, last year, everything that we did went right, and everything they did went wrong, and it didn't show anything for either team. It was just 6 points, let's get out of here, move on. Now what we've got to do is look at the fact that, hey, they beat Stout last weekend. They played 3 or 5-2 with Stevens Point. So the MIAC, anyone could beat anyone on any night. And if you don't come ready to play and you don't work hard, anyone could win the game. So yeah, I don't even think our guys are thinking about last year. Right now it's just all, let's get better every day.
And let's talk about Friday night. Obviously, a very special night for the Cardinals in that they recognize our veterans on Friday. And if you want to talk a little bit about that, because I think that's extremely important on this special day.
Yeah, this is one of my favorite days of the year. We do Veterans Appreciation Day, and sometimes it's been around Veterans Day, sometimes it's been in the late winter, just depending upon if we're home during the Veterans Day weekend. But this is our chance to thank the people who have served for us, really pay respects to everybody that has put their life on the line, and it's just one of those days that today is the day we should call Thanksgiving. We should be thankful to everybody that has sacrificed for us, including the families of the veterans that are there.
Conference opener on Friday night, Veterans Appreciation Night at the St. Mary's Arena, 7 o'clock. Then up to Schwann Super Rink on Saturday. Again, at 7 o'clock against Bethel. Good luck, Coach.
Thanks, buddy.